Hey, hey, hey! What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I am your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. Welcome. We're going to jump in on the GBWC build again this evening. Sorry for today. Something came up. But yeah, we're going to jump into that here in just a few minutes. But, yeah, Anaheim Electronics. Rocking it tonight. Go get you one of these. www.childofmecha.com. Hit the store button up at the top. You will find this hat, many more, shirts, prints of my work, all sorts of fun stuff in there. Go and stock up. If you are interested in any of the tools and materials that we are going to be working with here tonight, I highly suggest that you hit the little Amazon link just below here on Twitch and YouTube. That side if you're watching on Facebook. I do get a bit of a commission, smaller now since Amazon cut it like 50%, but it doesn't increase the cost for you. How about that? So yeah, tools, materials, books for inspiration, gear for streaming, all that fun stuff. Go get you some. And then if you are interested in kits, tools, paints, accessories, Mecha Decals, sheets 1 and 2, those are both in stock and shipping now. Hit up our good friends right down here. USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine crew will definitely have what you need. And if you like what we do here, if you enjoy learning, getting learned up, get you edumacated, hey, go share the stream with somebody. Go like and follow and subscribe. Hit the little thumbs up icon. It all helps, right? Go do that for me. I appreciate it. All right. So, let's see. George says, are you kidding? Amazon cuck? Yo, yeah, George. Just look up Amazon Associates commissions on YouTube, and you will find a plethora of good videos about it. So yeah, it kind of sucks. They basically, so we're getting into the woods on this one, but I am a member of Amazon Associates. That's what the Amazon link is. That's what the commissions are and all that good stuff. Normally, it would range from anywhere between 8% down to 1% based on the type of product that you buy. Now, it's been cut by at least 50% across the board. So that's, we're looking at what, maybe 4% to 1% now. So yeah, some people have seen a reduction in about 62% of their normal commission rates. And I'm talking about people that make like buku money, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, like in a month off Amazon Associates, like big people that like, you know, promote the hell out of things. I hardly make anything right now as it is, but you know, the 50% cut at least definitely does not feel good, but especially now. And that's what a lot of people are upset with. Like Amazon's cutting it now, of all times. Really? Come on. We're promoting your products, and yeah, it's kind of shitty, but it is what it is, I guess, right? Not a big deal. Not a big deal. I've weathered worse storms, right? Weathered worse storms. Weapon X69 says, how is USA Gundam shipping right now? Like clockwork. I know they had some delays because they've been getting hammered with orders. Everybody's staying home wanting to build kits and everything. So yeah, they've been getting slammed. But from what Adam has said, it looks like they're going to be all caught up by this weekend. So there's that. So you shouldn't see too much of a delay if you have, you know, orders in and stuff like that. Yeah. Sorvon Zero's over there on Twitch holding it down for us as always. He says, speaking of edumacation, Justin had a fire stream earlier, very recommended. Yeah, I kind of caught the very tail end of it, and I shared it on my Facebook page and all that, but just to bring you guys up to speed, Justin, Mr. Justinius Builds, just did a photography, basically an online live photography class on his YouTube channel. So after this, go check that out. It's about an hour and a half long. He goes into a ton of good information. But yeah, you can find it on his channel. If you can't find it for some reason there, go look on my Facebook page. I posted a link to it and all that good stuff. So, yeah. Let's see. Robert Cottrell, he's over there on Facebook. He says, hey, Tim. What's going on, Robert? Good to see you, buddy. Mike Skyer says, hopefully the USA Gundam Store's April restock comes in soon. Yeah, I mean, it should literally be any time now. With the way things are, it can be whenever at this point, right? It's all crazy. It's all crazy. Weapon X69 Nowheres. I got a couple kits to hold me down. Just looking for some paints. Yeah. Go load up, man, because a lot of people are hitting the site. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. That's the kicker. Restock. Yeah. Dude, that's the thing. Adam goes through so much damn product. It's not even funny. Like, I've been down to his warehouse 3 times, and it always amazes me with the level of turnover on the products and everything that he has. It's freaking mind-blowing, honestly. And that's why people, are like, well, they never have anything in stock. Well, guess what? You missed it, boo-boo. Sorry about your luck, right? It's one of those things. Sorvan says, good luck getting paint anywhere. Nobody has Mr. Leveling Thinner. Be patient. Be patient is what I would say. Be patient. Keep checking USA Gundam Store. Yeah. Be patient. Pab says, it's been 2 weeks since I ordered my hat. Dude, guess what? My production facilities is seeing delays as well. So, yeah. In fact, Pabby, let me treat you special and see exactly where your hat is in said production. Let me stop exactly what I'm doing right now and check on your order, okay? Let's do this for Pabby, okay? Mr. Hufflepuff over here. Let's see. We're bringing up the orders now, Pabs. He says I wouldn't expect any less. You son of a bitch. Let's see. Pabs. Being fulfilled right now. Let's see. Okay, so your hat was picked 3 hours ago by Maria. So that tells me that it's definitely in process, Pabby. All right. There you go. You're welcome. Ay. Our very own little prima donna over here, folks. Oh, man. Maria, it's in good hands. Yeah, hey. That's the detail that it goes into, right? It tells you who picked it and when, right? So, yeah. The bad thing is right now is that the big production facility that makes all my stuff in LA is shut down because of Rona. So they have facilities in other parts of the country. They have a facility in Eastern Europe and one in Mexico. So there's definitely lowered production at this point, unfortunately. So wait times are a bit higher. So sorry about that, Pabby. Let's see. Brandon says, my hat is also delayed, Pabs. It will come when it comes. Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of the thing right now, unfortunately. So, yeah. Yeah, and look at that. John Lynn, her Bear Guy shirt got shipped out, I think today or maybe yesterday. But she says she's supposed to get it on Monday. She's hyped. There you go. Yeah. Pabs, yeah. Same places, yeah. Anyway, yes. Patience. Woo-sa. Patience. Anyway. Alright. Let's go camera 2. All right, so if you remember on Monday night, we had a bit of a debacle on this the side of this gun here. We botched this whole plate, or I should say I botched it big time, right? And what I went ahead and did is I just ripped everything off of there and just kind of put it back. This plate is sized down just a little bit, and this is actually 3/4 millimeter now than the 1/2 millimeter before. I feel this height looks a little bit better in contrast to the little minus circly bit right there. And that's actually super glued on, so no weirdness or anything like that. But this is the thing. I think I'm going to keep it simple, and I think I'm going to just keep it just like that. Yeah. So that's kind of where we are with things. Now, I know a couple of you had mentioned the picture that I posted earlier, or last night, I can't remember when, of the legs that I was working on, the super secret project. That will become completely apparent on Monday. Okay? So, it will all be revealed on Monday. Word. Anywho, all right. So for tonight, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump on the scope and start to get that detailed and to a point where I'm happy with it. Actually, first things first, I wanted to do just a very, very little thing with this and show you a process that I have not shown you in quite a while, which I think a lot of you will probably get some value in. So we're gonna get our 1, 2, 3 blocks here. Now we've got this in an L 90-degree configuration. It's held together by some neodymium magnets, so that's nice and strong and sturdy. I've got a piece of 1.5 millimeter sheet right in there to fill in that space left by the magnets and everything. So this is basically flush up against this 1, 2, 3 block. So this is a nice hard 90 degrees there. Now, what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be making a scribing jig. Now, you've seen me probably make scribing jigs before, and that's all fine and dandy, but this is going to be somewhat of a specialized scribing jig. This is going to have a 45 millimeter or a 45 degree miter on this thing, right? So similar to something like this, right? And now it's got a 2 millimeter lip to it and everything, and that's just not going to work for our needs at this point. Because what we want to do is put little notches, little 45 degree notches right there in the corner here and the corner up here, right? And I don't know, maybe one down here. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. But with this being 0.75 millimeters, that's not going to work, right? It's not going to fit. Yeah. So we're gonna make a new one to fit that. So we've got our 1 by 4 millimeter strip. That's going to be our normal overhang. And then what we need is a, let's see here. We need a 1/2 millimeter. That'll work. But actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this 2 millimeters so we can kind of get into the shape a little bit more, and I'll show you what I mean by that here in just a few seconds. Yeah, I think that'll be good. I think that'll be good. All right, excellent. Excuse me. Actually, now that I'm thinking about the design of it, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go back to this. This is 1/2 millimeter by 1 millimeter. This is going to be our overhang, so to speak. Okay. So what we want to do is let's get the L 1, 2, 3 blocks out of the way just for right now. We're going to get the chopper in here and let's get this thing locked up here. Let's go out just a bit so you can see the setup on this. Just like that. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pull in one of our previous scribing jigs. This is just a 4mm one. It doesn't matter which one we get. We're just basically using this as a length gauge, right, to cut our stock here. So we're going to put that right up against the blade. Get our stop block into position. Lift up the arm. Get that out of there. And now we can put our 4mm stock right there. And also, we can put our 1mm stock right up against it, which is good, and cut both of these at the same time. And now we have identical pieces here that we can now glue together. Okay, so let's get these off of here. Let's get the chopper out of the way for just right now. We're going to need that again here in just a few seconds, but we'll get back to that. Let's get our L-shaped 1, 2, 3 blocks in here, just like that. We're going to put our 4mm strip right up against that piece of plastic, and we're going to get our little 1mm here, just like this. And now we need a little bit of super glue. Spread that out nice and even. Now, with utmost precision, like this, we need to get this right up against, and actually what we can do, shoot. Well, here, this is what we'll have to do. We'll have to punch that right up against there. We can hold that into position, hold that nice and firm up against the plate, and then lay this strip right down there. Make sure it's right up against the backing. Make sure it's down nice and neat. And if we get super glue squeeze out, it's not a big deal right now. We can clean that up after the fact. But the main thing is to have this right up flush against the backing piece here, right? Just like that. So you can see that little L start to form there, right? All right, so now if we move this, there it goes. It just popped. Excellent. All right, so that's stuck to here, which is not a big deal. Not a big deal at all, because what we can do is just pop that, and that should all go along with it. And there we go. Now we have our little L, right? We're not done. We're definitely nowhere near done at this point. First and foremost, we got to trim that little guy off of there. And we've got super glue squeeze out, obviously, on our scribing side. That's going to be an issue, because we want this completely as flat as we can get it, right? So what we'll do, we'll put this back between the two L's, just like that, which is a very, very tight fit. Get that locked in, get that off to the side. All right, and now what we're gonna have to do is go about cleaning this thing up, right? So let's get our eyes on here, right? Now, one of the biggest things is cleaning out the super glue squeeze out on the inner track here. So, like we always do, we just use our hobby knife and just kind of pop that super glue right off the surface, which is not all that difficult at this stage, because it's still somewhat soft, still somewhat brittle. We can just literally just pops right off. Not a big deal. Hasn't totally set into position yet. But just be careful that you don't pop the little 1mm strip off of there either. That's very important. Okay. And then a little bit that is on the surface here, we'll go through and trim that right off. Easy. Okay. Now the easiest way to see the super glue squeeze out, simply because it's clear, is to hold it at different angles in the light, and anything that's kind of glossy at that point is probably going to be super glue, more than not. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now, it doesn't totally matter if the inside of this, the inside of here is all nice and clean and sanded and smooth and everything. That doesn't matter, because that's just the catch on the on this jig. What does matter is the top side, your actual scribing side, right? That's the side that's important. So we're going to take our 600 sanding block here, and we're just going to go to town, just evening that out, smoothing that out, getting that down to plastic. And we're almost there. Let's turn this around and let's kind of focus on this side a little bit more. Perfect. Okay, so that's all nice and flat. It doesn't take much, right? You just have to glue it down. You just have to clean it up, and that's simple, right? Now we need to put a 45-degree miter on this thing. So we're going to get our 45-degree angle stop block in here. We're going to lock that into position. Now, the angle that you cut it at, that's going to be the important part here, because what we want to do is we want this to be angled in such a way where we can make a 45-degree notch into the piece like this, right? So we want it to cut. We want the cut of the angle to be that way, right? And then we also want the corresponding side to be cut in like this. That's very important. Because you can make one like this with the angles going out and the lip on the bottom, or like what we're doing and like we've done in the past, the lip on the bottom but the angles going in. So this is the version that we're going to be making here, this right here. Okay, so on the inside here we're going to just mark our directions as well, so there's no confusion, right? And then we're going to cut. And let's see here, let's get a little bit of a backing piece so this stays nice and flat on this surface. The same thing there. All right, so now we have focus. There we go. Now we have our scribing jig cut, but these surfaces aren't perfect just yet, right? We're gonna have to clean those up. So for that, we're gonna go ahead, grab the 600 sanding block again, and we're going to just sand these flat. Just like that. Simple stuff. Same thing with this side. And there we go. Now we have our scribing jig. Easy peasy. So, with that being said, now we're going to go back to the piece, and you can see, now you can see the template that we've made. That's going to overhang, and that's going to go up into the piece a good amount. And now we can use this angled edge here for our scribing jig, right? For our floating notches and everything. So easy stuff. Then you flip this around, do the same thing on this side. Because it's a 45-degree angle, it doesn't matter which orientation that you have it on. You can have it in this direction. If this little circular deal wasn't there, you can even have it in this direction as well, right? Excuse me. All right, so let's get zoomed in and let's get to creating these notches here. Now, for these notches, I'm going to go and use the 0.30, okay? And let's get this one down here first. All right, we want to make sure that's locked into position. And what we want to do is before we scribe anything, we want to make sure that the chisel itself is centered on the corner of this piece, right? Because you're not gonna, because if you put the angle right on the corner, it's going to be offset to that side. The notch needs to be centered at a 45-degree angle, so that's very, very important. So before we do anything, we want to set our chisel up here to be centered right along that corner. And this is a somewhat time-consuming and frustrating because you can never really get it the first shot, but that looks pretty good right there, so I think we'll keep that. All right, and then make sure we're on camera here. Yep, that looks pretty good. All right, sweet. Now for these little 45-degree notches, you don't want to make them too big, because if you make them too big, it's just going to scream unrealistic, right? These are going to be very, very small, short, floating notches. Maybe 1.5 to 2 millimeters tops. And honestly, it's going to be dependent on the piece that it's going on, right? If it's a very large piece, then you can kind of rethink the sizing a little bit. But for a piece such as this, we want it to be rather small. Okay. Okay, now we just need to clean out that debris from in here, which surprisingly is a little harder than one would imagine. Because this notch is so short and so small, the scribing debris gets caught up in here, and really is a bit of a challenge to clean out 100%. And you kind of have to take a little bit at a time. Okay. So there's that little corner notch. I think that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and get its corresponding notch up here. Now this is going to be a little bit tougher because we have a little bit of a less of a space to work with here in terms of our scribing jig. This space right up here. It's about all the material that we have to let this thing sit on, right? So we're going to do the same exact thing as before. We're going to line this up with the corner, and we need to center our chisel. And again, this space, since it's so very, very small, that is easier said than done. Let's see. That's a bit off center. That, nope, not there either. Just a hair off. All right, let's see. That looks good. Okay, so now, let's see. Ooh, this is going to be tough. Moved on me. See, and that's the problem with this particular space right here, is that this little 45, the whole thing wants to fall off in that direction, right? You have very, very, very little real estate to hold this thing into place, which is tough. And it's not like I can, attach it, glue it down, double-side tape, anything like that, because we need to finally adjust where this is located, right? So that's kind of the tough part with this particular piece right here. But I think we got it here. There we go. All right. Good enough. Good enough, right? It's good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be good enough. Okay, there's that. There's that. All right, so now we just clean out the plastic debris. Oops, there we go. All right. Again, you just basically need to clear out little by little at a time, right? Just a little by little, until it's all cleaned out. But I think that looks pretty dang good. Let's get super zoomed in here, and then we'll catch up with the chat, okay? Let's see. There it is. Get that just right there. And bang on. There we go. Alright, so there are our two little 45-degree notches there. And I like the way those look. I don't think I'm going to do one down here. I just think it would look out of place. But that looks really good. And as you can see right there, that's a perfect shot to take a look at the outline scribe around the whole thing here. Even on the little circular detail up at the top there, you can see that nice deep shadow all the way around the plate and around the upper minus mold and everything there too. So this all kind of fits together really nice. This piece, as you can see there, is beveled all the way around. So nice, simplistic. You know, you can put a little warning mark there, a little bit of warning mark right there to denote that, you know, maybe these are panel locks or something like that. You know, you can put one like down here to, you know, signify the presence of that, or maybe even up here for that. I don't know. But it gives options in terms of decaling and also paint application as well. So, you know, sometimes I hate to admit it, less is more, right? I like my details. What can I say? Anyway, let's get caught up with the chat here real quick. Let's see. Zero Kai, Mr. Nathan, he's over there on YouTube. He says, "Oh, he's making another scribing jig." Yeah. Aris385 DHL is making deliveries outside of Japan, but eBay uses Japan Post just like it does with USPS contract obligations in using those services. Can't get around those contract obligations, can you? Ooh, I am parched today, you guys. I don't know why. Alex Andrews says, I'm going to crash since it's half 3:30. Nice. Stay safe, y'all. Enjoy the stream. Alex, thank you for watching, buddy. Superset5 is over there on Twitch. He says, I feel like there's a higher power at work keeping me from making notches. I've had to use super glue 3 times now to fix them. And then Greek Nako says, I'm right there with you, Superset. Superset continues, I'm not sure if I should stop for the night or keep on trying. Dude, the big thing is, if you just feel like it's not right, just take a break. Either stop for the night, take a break, move on to something else, something, right? Something to change, you know, change your focus. And then come back and try it again. I mean, it could just come down to practice at this point, right? Could just be, you know, practice is needed. That's all. And trust me, I've messed up many a notch in my day. And had to super glue and redo, super glue and redo, super glue and redo. I'm right there with you, man. Don't worry about it. It's just one of those things. Let's see. Terry T, he's over there. Oh, actually, wait a minute. George, he's got a question.
We have a question.
George has a question. He says, how often do you use scribing tape, and when do you decide to go with a jig versus tape? That's actually a really, really good question. So tape I will use for kind of more complex designs, right? Excuse me. So say for instance, come here, you. This is a good example. Say for instance, this is the arm, or one of the arms, and let's get super zoomed in so you can kind of see, you know, my thought process here. This is the crushed arm for the Zaku that we were going to do, or that we did actually. But now, obviously, since we've changed directions on it, I'm probably not going to be using this particular arm in that project. I'm probably going to go, you know, maybe use this in something else, right? Let's get focused there. Right there. All right, so what you're seeing right there, this is more of obviously a complex design. This here with with the 45s, with the diagonals and everything like that, with the inner dimensions needing to fall right on those corners, that is definitely a time when I would use tape, and that's what we did. Anything with these 45-degree corners here, these exacting measurements and stuff, that's when I would definitely use tape. Same thing as the other side here as well. These, corner to corner here, exacting measurements. So I used tape to get the vertical lines, and then I believe I used scribing jigs based off of the top here to get those horizontals. And then you move down the forearm here, and same type of thing. This piece came off, and I don't know if it's separate or no, it's not separate. Okay, so this was one piece of Dymo tape to get these vertical lines, and then I probably used, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but I probably used tape to get these horizontal lines as well, since there's nothing to really measure off of, right? Maybe this part down here with the ankle, or with the wrist guard, that little wrist piece right there, maybe if that was pulled off, I could do that, but some of these are higher up, like this horizontal notch right there, that floating notch, that's very high up, so I would have had to use a pretty large scribing jig if that was the case. Now, turn this over here, and you look at the back of the hand, again, this is a perfect candidate for tape right here, because you've got those kind of exacting 45-degree miters on either side. I would cut those into the tape on the chopper, and obviously, there's no kind of flat part on the back here, so these horizontals and these verticals would definitely have been tape as well, especially to get these two, these two verticals here kind of centered. I probably cut a piece of tape and just ran it right along the center there and scribed on the outside. So that's those are good examples of when to use tape versus a scribing jig. This piece right here, the same type of thing. These 45-degree miters in the side, that's all definitely tape. A tape candidate, let's put it that way, right? But for edges and stuff like that, for a lot of the edge scribing that we do, that it just makes more sense, and it's just more efficient, and it's going to be cleaner to use a scribing jig, right? So that's what I would probably say in terms of comparing when to use tape and when to use a jig. So hopefully that answers your question, George. Let's see. Terry T, he's over there on YouTube. He says, using a scribing jig for that tiny piece is still going to be quicker and more efficient than laying the tape, correct? Yes. In my opinion, yes. Even with all the fussing and fighting that we were doing with that, 100% way quicker than using tape. And this is the reason why. Because we cut this with specified 45-degree angles on both sides. We know that those 45 degrees are going to match either way on either side of that piece, right? Doesn't matter which side we put it on, that 45 degrees is always going to be the same, and as long as that's a 90-degree corner, mind you. So that just automatically, in my mind and in my practice, makes it much quicker than trying to lay tape at a perfect 45-degree angle and then offset it just a bit to allow for the notch to be centered at that 45-degree corner. So, yeah, I honestly think there is a lot more efficiency in using scribing jigs in those applications than to resort to using tape. Terry says, since there's not a lot of room for the tape to sit securely in place. Yeah, no, and that's another thing. There's not a ton of surface area for the tape to lay down. So you'd have to worry about adhesion. You'd have to worry about the tape kind of moving and migrating on you. All that. all that you have to worry about, right? So, Frankie, Mr. Frankie RG, he's over there on YouTube, says, buy Mecha Decals and a genie will grant you 3 wishes, as long as those wishes are to get more Mecha Decals. Oh, Frankie, you're the best. He's awesome. He's awesome. If you guys haven't subscribed to Frankie on Instagram and Twitch, then I highly suggest that you do. Frankie is hilarious. I love him to death. Frankie.rg on Instagram, but then on Twitch it's just FrankieRG. So go give my boy a follow. Charles Dodge says, anyone else want to burn the Tamiya 2mm masking tape? It doesn't stick to anything, not even itself, after burnishing it to set it. Yeah, man. When it comes to masking tape, there's a little secret that I like to do, and honestly, I wasn't even planning on talking about masking for a while, but since Charles asked for it, let's get out of Super Zoom because I forgot that we were in Super Zoom, and then I'll show you kind of my. There we go. Get rid of the box. Very nice. All right, and there we go. Let me see. Let me grab my masking plate here real quick. Stay right there. So, this right here is my secret weapon when it comes to masking. And I think a lot of people kind of do the same thing, but I don't know if they've really taken it to kind of this level or not, right? This is a 10 by 10 piece of clear plexiglass, right? And it's about maybe 3/8 of an inch thick, maybe 1/4 inch. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, what I like to do, since all the sides are nice and flat and straight, I will lay down different thicknesses of tape on each end, right? So on this side you have 6mm Tamiya masking tape. On this side, normally you would have 10mm, but you just have this little piece here. And on this side, you got the big old 18mm right up at the top here, right? And then in the field, you have, different pieces that obviously you can see I've done either specific shapes, circles, all sorts of stuff, right? So like I said, this is my absolute secret weapon when it comes to creating, when doing masking. Now, the other secret weapon in this process is that guy right there. This kind of brings it all together, right? Because you set the tape right at the edge and as straight as possible, right along the edge. And then you use this to come along and cut yourself a little strip or a piece or what have you in whatever length that you need it. Now, it's very, very important to have a brand new, very sharp X-Acto blade, and I will not use the NT cutter. I will not use the Olfa on this. I will use number 11 X-Acto blades on this. And when you press this down onto the plexiglass and you cut a piece off of here, that edge is going to be so insanely clean. And just, take this up with a nice pair of tweezers. The edge on this is going to be so sharp and so clean. That's going to lay down onto your piece, and it's going to give you just insanely clean edges, right? Now, another part of masking success is to burnish this down onto the piece. And what I mean by burnishing is really press that into the surface. If it's a small area that you're having trouble with, using a putty, like a sticky tack, right? You tear off a little hunk of this, get it nice and warm and pliable, and then you just press that into and on top of the tape, and that will burnish that down really, really nice. Another process that is really, really simple and easy is to use these silicone brushes, right? And these are GBWC. I have no idea, but they're in the Amazon link below if you want to see them. But these are really good. You can press these into corners without damaging, the paint or anything like that, because these are just, these are just silicone. These aren't going to damage your paint or anything like that. You just press that into the corner real nice. And the beauty part is these come in all sorts of shapes and even sizes, right? You've got this kind of nice cone-like tip on this one. You can just really get in there and just kind of press in like a sharp corner. You've got some other flat ones in here. You've got round. You've got this guy here with a circular cutout there, but still a nice flat edge. And then you've got this one here that has kind of like a knife edge on it, right? It's kind of focus. There we go. It's kind of got like a point to it, right? Let's see if, there you go. You can see that in profile there. And of course, that won't focus, will it? No, that won't focus. Not even a little bit. There it is. You can see it's kind of like to a point there, right? It's almost like a knife edge. But these are great as well. These are also, a really good thing to have to burnish that tape into position. So I highly recommend all of those. But the big part that has changed the way that I mask off for paint and everything has been these two pieces right here, the plexiglass plate and the T-square. Now, obviously, this is the small one that I use, but you can use the bigger brother, right? And the cool thing is that since to me it only has, the 3 sizes in masking tape, legitimately, you can use this side for long strips. So you can lay down a piece of tape here, and then if you need a longer strip than any of these other ones, even longer than the 18 millimeter, you can take the Big Daddy T-square and you can cut yourself a really, really straight, nice long strip. And I've cut strips off of this that are half a millimeter, quarter millimeter, and they stick. Miraculously, they stick. And I think that's because, number one, that the edges are nice and sharp and pristine, and then number two, I really kind of burnish those into position. So this masking plate, obviously, this has been this was a scrap piece. Somebody, laser cut some bees out of here. But this, I think, is probably going to get retired very, very soon. I have a new piece up on the shelf that's still kind of has its wraps on and everything, and I'll probably retire that next time I have to do some masking and start using the new piece, and we'll probably make a video on that or something like that. So, but yes, guys, those are my secret weapons. They work wonderfully. English, yes. All right, let's get caught back up with the chat real quick. Ty Furious he asks, Charles Dodge, are the sides of the roll dirty? Do you keep it in a bag or dispenser case? If not, that could be the cause of it not sticking. Could be. Julie Stemsky Sarge. I'm scribing into my shield as Tim speaks. Hey, there we go. Frankie RG, thanks, Dad. Aw, you're welcome, son. Charles Dodge responds, the sides are clean, and I keep it in an enclosed clean case. I'm quite used to masking painting projects, but thought that I would get a Gundam / modeling specific masking tape. Yeah, and honestly, Tamiya is wonderful. But I really don't like the thin rolls. And I actually tried some of those, and I really did not prefer. Here we go. Yeah. These little guys right here. These Aizu, however it's pronounced. I have no idea. But this is 0.4 millimeter roll, right? I mean, you can see there. It's literally 0.4 millimeters thick. And there's 8 meters of this stuff. This is micron masking tape. And Charles, the 2 millimeter that you have is probably very, very similar to this. But you said it was Tamiya. So I've never seen the Tamiya in that thin of a roll before. But it doesn't mean that they don't make it, right? I'm just used to the 6, 10, and 18 normal variety. And that's honestly all I've ever used, and probably what I would always recommend, right? Yeah. Let's see. Weapon. Secret weapon, Bry Guy. Oof. Nice. Kenneth Sim says, also highly recommend the God Hand glass cutting pad. Yeah. Charles Dodge says, yeah, this is all stuff that I already do. Maybe I got a shitty roll. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, who knows, right? Who knows? Let's see. Superset5 over there on Twitch. He says, I keep forgetting to ask one question. Okay.
We have a question.
Can clear top coat be used as a primer? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Just because that's not what it was made for. It was made, clear coat is for that purpose. It's made to protect and be the clear coat. It's not made for primer, so I probably wouldn't. So yeah, I would be hesitant. Let's put it that way. I would be hesitant. Let's see. Spider2K2 James, he's over there on YouTube. He says, evening everyone. What's going on, James? Slick Builder's over on Twitch. He says, I have the thin white Tamiya tape. It sucks. There's no adhesion. I've never tried their white, the one for curves and everything. Ty Fury says, wait, Tamiya 2mm, is that the white one, the one for curves? Charles Dodge says, it's white. I don't have the label anymore. Okay, so that's probably it. Yeah, I've never tried it myself. But it is a thinner. It's a thinner tape. It's more along the lines of kind of like graphics tape and stuff like that, for graphics layouts and things. I know a lot of car guys use that for like pinstriping and things of that nature. So yeah. Bill says, Tamiya masking tape is normally yellow. The white is scribing tape. Actually, Bill, the white is for curves. It's not scribing tape. It's not, I wouldn't call it thick enough, to be honest with you. Ranger Chris says, curve tape at least is in the 3mm has worked for me. Yeah, you probably have more surface area, more surface adhesion as well. So that's going to be another thing. Kenneth Sim says, think the 2mm Tamiya tape are used for curved surfaces. Yeah. Greek Knockers over there, Charles actually on Twitch. He says no top coat is not a substitute for primer. It won't adhere well to an unprimered surface. Yeah. Slick Builder says, I believe it's strictly for clear canopies on planes, etc. Yeah. So to answer all those questions, yeah, I wouldn't use primer, or I wouldn't use clear coat as a primer. And the 2mm Tamiya tape it sucks ass. I think that's the conclusion that we've probably made. Nice. Anyway, let's continue on, shall we? Okay, so what I wanted to jump into tonight is again this guy right here, the scope on our rifle, right? And I already started a little bit by scribing, just edge scribing right around the front of the scope here and adding a couple notches on both sides. You can see it there and right there, and then the bottom, of course, right there has that edge scribe on it. So that's kind of the beginning to all of our shenanigans that we're going to be doing tonight. So with that being said, what I want to do first is to let's see, where's some good ones that we can put on here. What I wanted to do is put two little round bits like right here on either side, and kind of mimic that that sniper scope, you know, with the knobs on it and everything. Oh, that hit the funny bone right there. That was not funny one bit. Ha. That'll wake you up in the morning. Jesus. Anyway, not fun. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to pull maybe a couple pieces off of here. I think these 2.5s would probably look pretty nice. And then, I don't know, maybe some plates off of here. I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to kind of wing it here tonight. Here's another one of these with a few more on it. Let's see, what else do we have in the bag of goodies here? Maybe something over here. What's in over here? Nah, that's not gonna work. Let's see. I'm just trying to look through my Kodo parts here, see what we got. We are running a bit low because normally I would do a restock every, you know, kind of beginning of the year, but I was remiss in doing that earlier this year, and now we have the Rona. So yeah, what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? All right, so let's see here. I think what we can do now, I kind of like the bigger ones here, the 3.5 right there, because I think that's gonna look nice on that surface here. So let's get these cut out, get these installed first. Just like that. All right, and now let's get the nubbies cleaned up on this thing, shall we? Now the good thing with the newer Kotobukiya parts is that the gates on the parts themselves are very, very thin now, which is great. It makes cleanup a breeze. There we are. Easy as that. Nice. All right, let's do the other side here real quick. Okay, so there's one little nubby. And then here's the second one. Ooh. All right, here we go. These are so very, very small. hard to hold these little suckers. Alright, so there's that. Both of these are in good shape. Now, what I want to do here is make sure that we have these located in the same exact spot. So, what I'm going to do is pull off that front part of this, and we're going to use one of these little scribing jigs here to locate these, and we're going to make a mark on here. And let's see. It's good right there. And here's the pencil. Make a mark there. And we'll make a mark up on this surface here. Come on, you. Come on. Steady. Alright. So that leaves us, you can see there in the highlight, that leaves us a 1x1 little corner offset right there where we can place our little circular details with precision and have them opposite on both sides and symmetrical and everything, looking really, really good. Bill's got a question. Come on.
We have a question.
Jeez. He says, Tim, why not inset a metal etch part instead? Mainly because I wanted these to be I didn't want these to be inset. I wanted these to be flush mounted with the surface, mainly to somewhat represent the knobs on like you would see on a scope, you know, for focus and distance and all that jazz. So I kind of wanted them to be somewhat of a representation of this. Or of that, I should say. So that's kind of why I'm flush mounting these, and I just think they're gonna look, you know, I think they're gonna look cool as well. So, if for no other reason, there's that. All right, so we got our little palette here. Let's get a little drop of super glue, and we'll pick these up with our tweezers ever so gently. Pop that in there, get some excess off, get a little bit more excess off of there, and now we place these ever so carefully. Very nice. Right there on that line, right in the corner. Perfect. That's kind of right where I wanted it. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And see, it kind of has that that raised look, has that nice little representation of that, you know, like the knobs and everything. I just think it looks killer. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing here on this side. We're going to make our marks here real quick, but let's get a little scuff on this thing first. There we go. That'll help the graphite lay down a little bit easier. Alright. Oops. Good if the jig was in the right orientation, right? Alright, so right there. Make our mark. Damn it. Right here. Ah, come on now. This is such a small little scribing jig in space here that it's a bit difficult to maneuver around. But let's see. There we've got our marks right there in the highlights. Cool. So do the same thing with this little guy. Super glue on there and place that right along the lines. Here we go. Nice and symmetrical that way. Nice and symmetrical that way. Yep, everything looks good. Very nice. Okay, so now we'll pop this back on here. And there you can kind of see the look that we were going for with that, right? Very nice. Very nice. I like it. All right. So, now what we can do is we can start to have a little bit of fun. Let's get some scribing going on here. And I think what we're going to do is play off some of these corners, play off some of these angles a little bit, and kind of take it from there. So with that being said, let's get our 1, 2, 3 blocks on here so we have a nice surface to set this on here. Just like that. And then I think what we're going to do is play off this bottom surface here and bring this over, right? Maybe 45-degree there. Come off here. Kind of connect those two, right? And kind of see what we're doing here. And then we'll scribe over here like that, and then we can outline scribe this whole front section here, scribe right there. So basically this there we go. So basically this section right here we can imagine comes off, and they can service the body of this scope, calibrate it, whatever, any of that jazz, right? So that's the thought process, anywho, right? All right, so and then we can do something along the lines up here, maybe some styrene strip up here or something like that. Make that all look kind of nice and everything. And yeah, I don't necessarily see too much else that I would want to do with this, other than what we've got kind of going on at this point. Maybe a couple notches here and there, but overall keep this fairly simplistic, right? Fairly simplistic. Okay, so with that being said, let's see what we've got here. Where are my other scribing jigs and stuff? Let's see what's in here. No. Seeing if I have anything in here that would help us out with this endeavor, and I don't think I have anything in here. So we're gonna have to look over in this direction. Let's see. No, see, that's not going to work either. Okay. We might have to make something to fit. Or, Let's see. Will this work here? No, that's not going to work. All right. So, this actually might be one of those instances where we absolutely must use tape. Might be. Might be. All right. So, let's see. First, let's get a perfect 45-degree angle set in here. Just like that. Okay. And then, let's see. No. All right. Try as I might, we need to use tape. Try as I might. All right. So, let's see. That right there will probably be good. So, we're going to get this stripped off here. And see, and this is all kind of wasted time. You know, peeling the tape off and placing it, you know, perfectly and all that jazz. This is all just kind of, in my opinion, totally inefficient. So it's just, you know, it's just one of those things, and I really kind of dislike. But sometimes it's got to be done, right? Sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and do it. Okay. All right. So first things first, we need to make sure that this is level with the bottom here, right? So perfect. All right, so there's that. All right, let's get our 0.15 in here. And now, since we made that that 45-degree mark on there, you can see there in the highlights, we know where to stop this line, right? So we'll start it. We'll actually start it there. And that'll be our kind of demarcation line, if you will. We'll just run this line right across here. There we go. Get that groove set in. Very nice. Okay. There's that line. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, so we'll peel this tape up. Ever so carefully. Or we just end up turning it. And now we can lay that right on that 45-degree mark. Come on now. Just like that. All right, good there. pop that. Now, that looks very nice. We can take that same piece of Dymo tape here and run this right up to the corner where we will continue this line over the top, right? Now, one thing I want to see here is I want to see if we can maybe use a strip as a guide here, right? So let's check the other side here and let's see if this falls on any sort of let's see, what is this right here? Is this 4? Or is this 3.2? I'm thinking this is 3.2. It'd be good if it was zeroed out. There we go. 3.2. Okay, so I wonder if we can use 4 millimeter in this scenario here. Let's see. That's 4 millimeter right there. Ooh. Ooh. Bingo. All right, so this is a key example of when to use a scribing jig or even just a strip of plastic over a piece of Dymo tape. Let's get that off of there. Now, 4 millimeters from the edge of this block right here runs right up to there. Perfectly. And you can see it right in there. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want to see, right? Yep, that's awesome. That's awesome. So this is a perfect example of when to use a scribing jig over over tape. This couldn't be a more perfect example, honestly. There we go. Now, yep, that's going to run right across there. So that's absolutely perfect. All right, let's get these lines reinforced here, make these look real nice. Okay, get that debris out of there. All right, and then one pass to make sure everything is nice and connected. Yeah. And let's see, focus, there we go. And there we are. You can see how those lines are just now complete precision, right? That's what we're looking for. That right there is just a wonderful example of why we do these things, right? Okay. Let's get some questions answered here. Seth has a question.
We have a question.
Seth Boyd over there on YouTube, he says, why do some people split the leg armor in half vertically? Great question, Seth. So what some people will do, and we'll show you here on the armor of the Jesta, it's split in half obviously you have your front, you have your back. So to remove, you know, remove the armor here, and now I'm thinking more along the lines of a maintenance engineer, like from Anaheim or something like that. You remove this big old, you know, piece of armor, and then you've got all of your mechanical components, you know, your innards and everything in there and all that good stuff. Now, what some people will do is they will fuse the armor front and back and then split it right down the middle here. So instead of the front and back coming apart, it's now the left and the right armor coming apart, right? And in some cases that just looks aesthetically pleasing. In some cases it looks like total garbage. But it's all in, I guess, you know, the look, you know, that you or anyone else is kind of going for in that case, right? So it depends on the modeler and what they want to do and the look that they're going for. So yeah, that's basically it. So I don't think there's honestly any technical rhyme or reason to it. You just did it because it looks cool, you know? And in some cases, it does look really cool. In some cases, right? You look at maybe like a Zaku, the top half of the Zaku leg. I think that would look cool, split right down the middle. And there are a bunch of others that kind of have that same sort of vibe and aesthetic, right? Some look good that way, some don't. It just depends. So hopefully that helps. All right, so let's duplicate this. Let's run this line over the top here and make that look good. Focus. There we go. There we are. Now, one thing that I've noticed in my years of modeling Gundam kits from Bandai, they love nice round numbers. They absolutely love nice round numbers. 4 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 1 millimeter, etc., etc. Sometimes they'll throw in a 2.5 millimeter, or a 3.5 millimeter, or 4.5 millimeter. Case in point, 4 millimeters from the edge of here to the edge of this upper piece here. That right there is a perfect example of Bandai design. Perfect example. And you're going to find those similar measurements on a lot of their models. And I've just seen it time after time after time, and that's why using something like a scribing jig is so damned useful when working with, you know, Bandai plastic. It's really just that simple. They just, for some reason, they just really love their round numbers. So keep that in mind when you're working with all this stuff here, kiddos. Okay. So that runs right up against that. I'm going to do the same thing here. Let's get that locked into place. Alright, and what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of scratching the surface and making a guideline. A quick sand will buff that out completely, and you'll never even know that anything was there, right? But I'm just kind of making a guide for me to know where to stop the scribe lines and everything. So keep that in mind. All right. So we need to cut this tape a little bit. And yes, I'm just cutting it with my nippers because it works and it's on hand. Plain and simple. All right, so let's get the backing tape peeled off of here. Just like that. All right, and we'll do the same exact thing that we did before. We'll line this up. Oh, we need a little bit more off of there. Let's let the hard edge be on the inside, yeah? All right, so now I'm going to make sure that this is level with everything else. And that looks pretty good. Keep it locked in there just like that. And go from that little scratch right over. Oop, there we go. Alright, that's perfect. Alright, and now we'll peel this off. And let's see if we can't use this. To make the process just a tad bit easier here. To extend that line just a bit. Came up just a bit short on that. There we go. Much better. All right. Perfect. So now we can use our new little scribing jig here, our 45. We can actually use this okay. Looking pretty good. Right like that. And now, connect everything together. Our top scribe with our design on the side here. Good. All right. Now, make sure all these are connected. Reinforce these lines a little bit. And then we'll clean this up and take a look at what we've got here. Yeah, that is perfectly connected all the way around. Very, very good. All right. As always, chisel discipline. Very, very good. Let's see. Superset's got a question over there on Twitch. Let's see.
We have a question.
He says, random question, would the Unicorn Gundam look good in RX colors? This is an idea just popped into my head. Ty Furious responds, Google it, it's interesting. Yeah, I think the Unicorn actually looks pretty pretty decent in RX colors, honestly. I know Bandai has done that in some displays in the past, and it's pretty cool. I didn't hate it. Let's put it that way. And they actually did it in a bunch of other different color schemes as well. RX, Gun Cannon, Gun Tank, Shars, Unicorn or whatever. They did it, I think they did one in Ramba Rao colors. I think they did it in weird color schemes like the Bawu, the O, and then they did it in like Exia, Strike, I think was one of them. Freedom, maybe another. A bunch of different, interesting alternate color schemes. And it was all on display, and they just had the unicorns in different color schemes lined up one next to another, and it was really cool looking. Honestly, I thought it was badass. To be honest with you. So yeah. Anywho, all right, let's get back to this. All right, so this is all looking really good. Let's get a couple notches on this thing for variety, and for that we're gonna reach for our 0.3 and our 0.6, right? So let's see. For this, I'm thinking we start with 0.3 up on the top here. And let's see what we can do. This is just our 1 millimeter, and we've got to unfortunately hold it at a weird kind of angle like this just to get it to stay, right? No, that's not even. Oh, screw it. We're gonna raw dog this thing. All right. So there's that. Now we're going to need the 0.15 again to clean out the debris that we just created on the top line. Okay. And we'll switch back to the 0.3, and then we'll start to kind of reinforce these notches here. And these are very, very short notches. These are about 1 millimeter in length. So you don't have a ton of room to work with, which means that your debris in that notch builds up very, very quickly, right? So you have to be very cognizant of all of that. There we are. All right, back to the 0.15. Clean this line out again. let's get a little toothbrush action going here, just to try and get as much out of there as we possibly can. But I do like the look of this. Very symmetrical, very nice. Okay. Yeah. All right, you can see those two little notches right there. And that makes that look really, really good. Now, let's put the .30 away for right now. One thing that we forgot to do is outline scribe this. Focus. I forgot to outline scribe this piece right here. So let's get that done right quick, and then we can kind of move on to our next stages. Yeah. Just follow the contour of this piece. Good there. Good there. All right, so now the tricky part is to wrap this line up and over, because since this surface here is at a 45-degree angle, when you cut this way, the line is going to end up angled. Your initial intent is going to be either perpendicular for the top line, or even at an opposite angle this way. That's going to look terrible. It's going to look way, way, way too big. So ideally what you would want to do is keep the same angle and angle it this way, right? That's going to give you a more realistic look, right? So keep that in mind. Kenneth Sims got a question. Let's get that answered here real quick. Let's reload the bouton.
We have a question.
All right. So Kenneth Sim has this question. If you want to cut a panel on a thick armor piece, what do you use without sacrificing your expensive chisel for best cuts? Charles Dodge says the expensive chisels, that's what they're there for, right? No. So what I'm thinking, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Kenneth, is that you physically want to cut into a piece, right? So actually and literally cut the piece off from the armor. I'm guessing that's correct, right? So basically these two pieces are together. He wants to separate them physically, right? Not just scribe, but to cut, right? Is that what we're getting at here, Kenneth? Let me know. Let's see. Edward Leonard's with us. He says, hello all. Saying hi, having issues with mom to deal with. My wife got a call to come back to work on Tuesday, but we think it's kind of fucked. She's not essential worker in her job managing Habitat for Humanity. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, a lot of places are opening. Oh, Habitat for Humanity thrift store. Gotcha. So like a resale place, for like building materials and stuff like that. I guess they take out of old homes and stuff like that and resell. I gotcha. I've actually been to those. Those are quite nice places, and you can find some really cool stuff. But that's besides the point. Yeah, you know, places are opening up on Monday, and I don't know how I feel about it. And I really don't know if this is the forum for that, right? There are way too many smarter people out there that could debate this, you know. My own personal feelings, I think it's too early, but that's just me. Florida, yeah. Well, it's Florida. What do you yeah, what do you expect, right? It's fucking Florida. But yeah. You know, it's tough. It's like, no, she has no building materials. Oh, in her store. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. See, I've seen some stores that you know, will take doors and windows and you know, hardware like doorknobs, hinges, you know, different stuff like that, and resell them, right? And they were like Habitat for Humanity, you know, places like that. I think there's one up here near me, but yeah, it's just, I think it's too early. Honestly, it's too risky. Charles Dodge says, my last thought on this, all the smart people say the same thing. It's too early. Don't do it. Yeah. Yeah. Edward Leonard says, that's a restore that has building supplies. Ah, gotcha. I did not know that there was a different type. My bad. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's best thing I can say to anybody returning to work, man, wear your mask, use common sense, stay away from people if you can. If you can. Wash your fucking hands and just fuck, man, just be safe. If you've got a spare astronaut suit lying around with a full rebreathing unit and everything, wear that. You'll be fine. You can double. Hey, you can get to work for MTV, the music awards and stuff. Yeah. William Williams says, "Stay away from Carol Baskins." Whew, ain't that the truth? Let's see. Kenneth Sim. I mean, cutting a rectangular panel on a piece. Okay. Okay. But yeah, dude. Edward, I'm right there with you, brother. Just fucking be safe, you know. Tell moms be safe. Yeah, best thing I can tell you. So, one of those things. Kenneth Sim says, I mean, cutting a rectangular panel on a piece. Scribing or actually cutting, Kenneth? That's kind of the big thing, right? Cutting. You can, you know, there are different things that you can acquire to do that rather than use chisels. One of the things that I really like are like these kind of like photo etch saws that you can put into an X-Acto holder, right? So it's got the focus. So it's got the saw blades on this side here, right? And this is about 0.2 millimeter thick, the kerf on this. And this cuts very, very nicely, and I've done a lot of cutting with this particular little saw. Hasegawa has their tri-tool saws as well, which I really, really like. You know, here's one, for instance. This is just a flat saw, and actually you can mount this because it has this nice little hole in here. You can actually mount this in a utility knife. See that little hole right there? You can mount that right in there, and that's perfectly sized for that. Extend that out, and then you can just zip, zip, zip saw that right, you know, right through. What I would say to you is you would need to get that groove set in first, and to do that I'd probably start with a chisel, right? Get the groove set in, and then you can take, you know, maybe some photo etch saws to it and go to town on it. So hopefully that helps, right? Let's see. Michael Crumryan's over there on YouTube. He says, "What up, bro? What's going on, dude?" Edward Leonard says she deals with furniture and clothes. Ah, yeah. It continues. Imagine dealing with people dropping off their shit and you have to go through it. Yeah. I hope they provide. I hope they provide like disinfectant, like Lysol or something like that, to spray that shit down. Or they, yeah, just bleh. Anyway. Eddie Johnson is over there on YouTube. He's got a question. I'm starting to experience a lot of eye strain at my workbench and want to look into better lighting. What would you suggest? Lumens, etc. I already have an Optivisor. Thanks. And then let's see. Charles Dodge replied, "Get a daylight bulb with few hundred lumen." William Wilms says, "Open your curtains. The sun is free." Well, not at night, William. You smart ass son of a bitch. No. So I really have become a big fan of LED lights. LEDs are a more constant light. If you have fluorescence in at your workspace, like the little twisty bulbs, or the overhead fluorescence, those flash actually faster than the human eye can perceive. That's why they look like they're on all the time. But say if you are to take pictures in a room, some of those pictures might be darker because that's when the flash of that fluorescent light actually goes off. It's done in the ballast. And that actually does cause eye strain, believe it or not. So if you guys have ever been in a place that has really harsh fluorescent lights, and you've been in there a while, and your eyes are like, oh God, that's the reason why. Fluorescent lighting is taxing on your eyes. LEDs, I find, are much more soothing. They're a more constant light because it's just a single light emitting diode. It has energy and just lights up. So if you don't have LED lights, they are very inexpensive now. The prices have come down a lot. Sorry, I just got sidetracked as Mike Skyers just said, so Bandai has postponed GBWC to 2021. Mike, sources? I don't want to assume anything, but sources? Let's get that out there, right? Yeah. Let's see. Wilson just sent me a photo. What's Wilson got here? Let's see. Oh shit. Well, there we go. It's yeah. Okay, guys, hang tight. 1 second. We're getting this in. We're getting this in here in real time. Let's do a screen share and hang tight. Let's see. Right here. All right, so this is what Wilson has just sent me, and this is from Bandai Hobby site. It says postponement announcement of Gunpla Builders World Cup 2020. Thank you for always supporting Bandai spirits. Regarding Gunpla Builders World Cup 2020, which was originally scheduled to start from May. Despite going through meticulous planning in light of the widespread COVID-19 pandemic, in consideration of health and safety of all participants, supporters, guests, spectators, and staff, we have no choice but to announce the postponement of the event. The event is temporarily rescheduled to 2021 in the form of Gunpla Builders World Cup 2020-2021. I guess that's a tentative name because they have the word tentative in the back. With respect to COVID-19 pandemic situation, instead of being postponed, the event may be suspended. In addition, regarding participants born between 1st January 2006 and 31st December 2006 who were able to participate in junior course this year shall be given right to participate in junior course by and only by next event. So the juniors that qualified this year who wouldn't necessarily qualify next year can still participate next year, I guess, because of the postponement. Event schedule will be further announced in GBWC official website. To all supporters whom have been looking forward to Gunpla Builders World Cup 2020, we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience and trouble caused by this postponement. Thank you for your kind understanding. Bandai Spirits Company Limited, Gunpla Builders World Cup Committee. Wow. So, there you go, kids. It's official.
We have a question.
No, we don't have a question. Stupid thing. So there we go. Bandai has officially canceled GBWC this year, or postponed it. I'd call that a cancellation. That's just me, right? But hey, shout out to Wilson. Thank you, Wilson, for sending that over. I really appreciate that. Wilson's the man, you guys. Wilson Alanea. So yeah. Wow. GBWC is canceled this year. Honestly, I'm kind of happy about that. Yeah, I'm kind of happy about that. I'm glad that they pulled the trigger now, instead of waiting for, waiting for more, right? Yeah, and everybody says like looks like you got more time now, right? Well, I will never not take more time. Let's put it that way, right? But no, I think this is a good thing, you guys. I think this is a good thing, and let me explain my positioning. And if you've heard me, talk about this before, bear with me. Right now, everybody's locked in. Nobody can get anything from Japan for the most part, right? So supplies are limited, and they're drying up quickly, right? Have you guys seen BMC chisels for, a decent price? Somebody, I think yesterday, said on eBay they're going for outrageous amounts, $50-$100 right now for a BMC chisel. So that's absolutely just nuts, right? Would be nuts. So people are behind the 8 ball in terms of supplies, tools, materials, etc. So everybody's working at a handicap, unless you're in Japan. And then they have somewhat of an advantage at that point, right? So, I don't even think that it's fair to have that just based on that alone. And then people can't go out to their, local hobby stores. Sure, they can order online, but is that ever really convenient? Can you find the stuff that you're looking for? Can you find the paints that you need? Can you find the glue that you need? Can you find the thinner that you need, right? Can you find alcohol to clean your airbrush or strip your paints or what have you, right? Can you find that stuff? And the answer, unfortunately, is not all the time. So we're all kind of working at that handicap, unless you're in Japan, which, you have easy access to this stuff. So right there, I think that's a huge red flag. At least it was for me. But then beyond that, just the overwhelming kind of pressure and scourge of this whole thing, it's just not the right time, I don't think. There are more important things to worry about, right? So I think this was a good move on Bandai's part, and I applaud them for pulling the plug. I think this is smart. I think this is good. It gives everybody another year to work on their announcement, and this is a good thing. This is a good thing in my opinion. Awesome, Charles. Thank you for the link, man. Let me get that copied and pasted to everyone. Okay. Copy link location. We're gonna blast it to everyone in the chat here so you guys can see. Bang, there we go. and it's coming out to everybody. So let's see. Yeah, and that just, boom, it opens right up to the announcement and all that good stuff. So, yeah, it's right there. So, good stuff. But, yeah, and Ken Sim, no international flights hardly at the moment, too, right? So, who's to say if they were even going to have a live event in Japan in December, right? And let's face it, that is the prize. Unless you take home one of the top 3 or a special trophy, that's your prize. And for some people, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm I'm lucky and blessed enough to have gone 2 times, but who's to say that that if I ever go again, right? I may never go again for what it's worth. I may never get that opportunity again. And the same could be said for other people in other countries. This could be a one-time thing for them. So if they were to win this year and not have the opportunity to go to Japan, I think that shortchanges them a tremendous amount. So, yeah, I think this is a really, really good thing. I think this is a positive thing. I think this is the smart thing. All around. Now we can really kind of focus in our efforts on increasing skill sets, refining ideas, not having to work under such a closer, so much of a closer deadline. Now we've got a year, over a year and a half at this point, right? So all I'm saying is that if next year, if people don't come out with their A game, I will be extremely disappointed. Extremely disappointed. Because now that I have over a year and a half to work on this thing, good luck, kids. No, I'm. You guys know I'm playing with that, but still, the fact is that we have time to really dig in on this, right? We really have time to dig in. Charles Dodge says, is the GBWC show open to the public? No, it wasn't. It was invited guests and media. Yeah. But we we snuck William in there last year. We just bum rushed him in and let him into the event. We were just like, oh no, he's with us. It was great. It was great. Will's just behind the scenes like, oh yeah, hey, I'm in GBWC, right? And then of all people, he gets interviewed by Japanese TV. Like, come on, man. It was funny. It was really funny. And Will, I hope you had a good time, because we had a good time hanging out with you, brother. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But yeah, it's just I'm happy with that. That's a good decision. It's a good decision, right? Wilson Alanea is over there on Facebook. He says, it will be an honor to lose to those who will present their A game. I love Wilson, man. He's great. William, he says, taking over Tim's interview and free sushi for lunch. Yeah, right? Like, we totally just bum rushed William into everything. Oh, it was so funny. Yeah, he's with us. Don't worry about it. That's basically kind of how we did it. Oh, it was great. All right, let's get caught up with the chat. Let's see what everybody else has to say. Y'all heard my opinions on this, so let's hear what you guys have to say. Let's talk about this a little bit here, right? Because obviously we've stopped. We stopped everything that we're doing because this is worth it at this point. So I think we'll put the chisels away. Chisel discipline. We'll put the scope off to the side here. Let's talk about this. Yeah. Let's see. Let's scroll back up here because I know that we were talking about Eddie Johnson's question about the lighting and everything. So yeah, dude, Eddie Johnson, LEDs if you can get them super cheap, because they are super cheap now. I think every bulb and light panel in this room right now is LED, right? The light that is right above here, that's an LED panel. That light over here on this side, and then the light right up here that lights down onto the shelves, that's all LED. The bulbs up here are LEDs, and the bulbs over the workbench are LEDs as well. So definitely, those are the way to go. Charles Dodge says, any big box hardware store will have it. Get the highest lumen you can get, and still looks like a normal light bulb. They will make a shop light with 5K lumen, but you don't need that. Yeah, exactly. All right, so that brings us up to when Mike Skyers just totally derailed the show, but for good reason. So thank you, Mike. I appreciate that, buddy. Charles says, yeah, get rid of all fluorescent bulbs. They make LED daylight bulbs to replace your regular bulbs. Absolutely. Michael Crumrine says you can get LED lamps on eBay. Yes. Aris 385 Ott Light. I don't know what those are. Used for sewing and other crafts. Okay, there you go. Charles Dodge says, or don't buy a specialty lamp when you can spend less on an LED daylight bulb. Well, true. Kenneth Sim, Bandai officially dropped the news GBWC 2020 had postponed to 2021. Yeah. Eddie Johnson says, my fluorescent bulbs must be the problem. LED it is. Thanks. Man, you're welcome, Eddie. I hope that works for you, buddy. Let's see. Kenneth Sim says it's official. Mike Skyers hot off the presses. Yep. Edwin RSA, more time to build for 2021. Yeah. Charles Dodge says, yep, my mini painting convention ReaperCon announced this afternoon that it was canceling its live convention and moving to online classes Labor Day weekend. That's never the same. You know, it just isn't. Jason PS3 says, looks like you got more time now. Mike Skyers, more time. Charles Dodge, fun till 2021. I like it. Ty Fury says, I wonder if SCGMC will be canceled. That remains to be seen. That and the Mecha Modeling Expo down in Florida from USA Gundam Store. Those are the two big question marks at this point. And I think as of right this second, it's probably a little too early because those happen later in the year. MMX is is at the end of August, and then SCGMC is in November. I think the reason why they canceled GBWC so early is because of the prelims for, you know, the different countries and stuff like that. We've already had to cancel a bunch of, conventions and stuff here in the U.S. So it wasn't going to, I don't think it was going to happen, live. If anything, it would have been online, and that, it's never the same. It's just never the same, right? Just never the same. Let's see. Kenneth Sim says, well, we had almost 1 year time to prepare. Yeah. Edward Lerner says, yeah, more good news. Now Tim has to change his title for his stream. Yeah, well, there you go, right? William Williams, now Tim has to go back and change the titles of his videos. Jesus, everybody's jumping on, right? Mike Skyers, online judging wouldn't be idle either. Yeah, online judging, it's so-so, right? It's just so-so. Zero Kai, can I get a link to that post about GBWC? Yep, we already posted that. William Williams says, I haven't seen BMC chisels out at the stores here, and he's in Japan. Yeah. Charles Dodge, it's Bandai's HobbyNet GBWC site with the link, all that good stuff. Sam L, fun till 2021, right? Edward Leonard says, level playing field for all now. Yeah, I mean, it kind of is. Edwin RSA over there on YouTube. What's up, Edwin? The cancellation for 2020 GBWC is not a surprise. A friend who is part of the local GBWC said the usual meeting for my local GBWC supposed to be held last month. Yeah, Edwin, Edwin, are you in Malaysia, I think, Edwin? Or Australia? I forget. Anyway, let me know, because I know there were rumblings, especially down in Australia, about things going wacky down there, because obviously Ryan San Pedro, who works with Hobbyco down there, they obviously had postponed indefinitely their GBWC, because usually Australia is usually the first prelim in the world. Yeah, that's a tough break, right? Chris Pab says, it's absolutely the most sensible choice. 100% agree. William Williams says, you're talking about seeing the event in Japan. Kenneth Sim says, which means 2021 GBWC will be a top challenge. Oh, yeah. I expect everybody to be back next year. I know Win is competing. So, yeah, you better bring your A games, kids. That's all I'm telling you. But this is a good thing. This is a really good thing. This gives us time to refine. This gives us time to up our skill set, try new things, learn, all of that stuff. The last thing we can do, guys, is sit idle and not improve, right? So we'll help each other out with that. Mike Skyer says, LMAO, go easy on us, Tim. Oh, man, never. Charles Dodge says, yes, in normal circumstances, I can fly to Japan round trip for less than $100. God damn, where the hell are you, Charles? Shit. Less than $100? Holy shit. I mean, now I know Zach, he lives over in South Korea. He can get cheap flights to Japan. Like, stupid cheap. Like, dumb cheap. Like, $70-some. Like, it's so infuriating. For me, it's like $1,500, and that's in coach economy, like sitting like this for 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. It sucks. But anyway, let's see. William Williams says, taking over Tim's interview and free sushi for lunch. Yeah, GBWC last year. He said, I had an amazing time. Only thing I missed is getting Majin's autograph. Yeah, I didn't see him all that much other than when he was on stage, so it's one of those things. Let's see. Zero Kai, Mr. Nathan, he says, watch out, Tim, I'm coming for you in 2021 and take that champ belt from you. Dude, come on, man. Seriously, I invite any and all comers because that helps raise the overall bar, and that's what I'm about. Michael Crumrine says they also have LED lamps with adjustable lighting. Yeah, exactly. Slick Builder's over there on Twitch. He says, hey, Tim, when did you get that Deep Striker? Oh, that right there? Oh, I've had that. I pre-ordered that from Adam and the boys down at USA Gundam Store. So I've had that for a while, actually. It's just been sitting over on that side, not up on the shelf. So when I cleaned the studio, I had to put that up there. FlipKid4 is over there on YouTube. He says, hey, brother, how you doing? Dude, good now. GBWC got canceled for this year, so I think that's a smart thing, right? Let's see. Edwin sorry to say, Indonesia. Okay, sorry, Edwin. For some reason, I thought you were like either Malaysia or Australia. I don't know why. Anyway, Indonesia. Yeah, and that makes total sense too, because I think you guys were kind of early. I think you said last month was supposed to be your GBWC or something. So, yeah. Superset5 says, does this mean I can enter my perfect grade Fenix for GBWC 2021? Yeah, that's exactly what it means, man. Michael Cromrine says, it will be a pleasure to lose to you. A year later, Tim. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. But no, I mean, seriously, guys, this is the thing. This is what I'm excited about. And this is the reason why I'm excited about this, is because what we've started here, this whole Rona bullshit, has put us on a completely different trajectory than what we were before, right? And that's an exciting thing, because this has given us time. This has given us extra time. This has given us spare time. For the most part now, essential workers, I know. It hasn't changed for you guys. If anything, it's probably gotten worse. But for a lot of us non-essentials, this has really opened up the floodgates in terms of time and in terms of being able to learn and all of that. So it's exciting, right? So learn as much as you can from as many people as you can, right? Go back in the archive, watch the old streams from when I was building the airdrop, right? See how I made a GBWC winning entry, right? Learn from that, gain your skill set, practice your skills. Just take all that information from me and put it to your use, right? that's what you can do right now, and you can learn from so many other people, right? You can hop on and you can learn from Pabs, and you can learn from Brian, Mr. Bro Builder, and you can learn from Armida, Tex Marquise, and you can hop on stupid early at 6 a.m. every morning and on Instagram and learn from George, Mr. Old School Gunpla, right? You can watch so many good people streaming and get their input and get, just kind of feed off of them. And then just look at other videos and stuff like that. Like Justin's video today on photography was absolutely amazing, right? His live stream today. He did a full photography class. If you guys haven't, seen it, bookmarked it, whatever, go do that after the stream is over, or go watch it. It's an hour and a half long, and he goes through every little bit of model photography, and it's wonderful, right? So this is the time to learn. This is a very, very rare opportunity for you to really, really up your skill sets. And that's what I would be doing. And that's what I expect most of you guys, or at least all of you, to do, right? So, dude, come on, bring it. That's what I say. I'm excited about this. This is good. This is a good thing, right? This is a good thing. Let's see. Charles Dodge says, "LOL, I'm in Kansas City. Son of a bitch. But I'm also retired military, so I can fly the military space A flights that move service members being stationed in Japan and Korea." Oh, lucky bastard. I Never Reloaded is over there on Twitch. He says, "Hey brother, how are you? So any tips on someone building their first new Gunpla, planning to get a 144 real grade or a master grade 1/100? Oh, see, now you're talking my language. All right, I like this. Yeah. Number one, first and foremost, shameless plug, watch my streams, right? Second, definitely invest in tools, right? Everybody will go out and, and buy kits. And obviously, I'm one of those people as well. But I always suggest tools over kits, right? So a great little hobby knife, NT cutter, is my personal favorite. Some little jeweler's files. These are great. Tweezers. These little reverse deals. These are Eck tools. These are wonderful. And get you some good nippers, right? Either these are the Tamiya 123s, or what you can always do is, if you like the one-sided, because these are double-bladed, if you like the single-bladed ones, these are the nippers from USA Gundam Store. These are very, very good. These are single-bladed, and they cut very, very nicely. I'm just not a single-bladed guy, right? So I use those very sparingly, right? Very, very comparable to God Hands, which are stupid expensive, but you can get them here locally and stuff like that. So just, make sure you follow the directions very closely. It's like building Legos, but with different parts and stuff like that. And then when you want to get into painting and customizing and everything, come on back here, ask you questions. I'll be happy to answer anything that you got. So welcome to the hobby. I Never Reloaded. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that you're picking this up. So it's a good thing. Edwin RSA, Indonesia GBWC is September, October. Oh, I thought it was early for some reason. I don't know. The meeting was supposed to be last month. Ah, that's okay. Sorry, Edwin. My bad. Charles Dodge says, replying to Michael Crumrine, I know I missed Michael's comment. He says, Tim, take a flight to LA first, then another flight from LA to Japan. Save yourself $400. Oh, trust me, I do. I do sometimes. What I did last time, because I live here in Maryland, I flew Air Canada. So what I did is I flew from BWI up to Toronto, and then Toronto to Tokyo. And that actually wasn't that expensive. That was a lot less than what I flew before. And I really like Air Canada. I thought they were great. So, yeah. Anyway, Charles Dodge replied, LA or Vegas both have really good flights if you don't mind, or actually if you want the layovers. Vegas to Honolulu to Japan is a really fun trip. Vegas to Hawaii is super cheap. Now. Huh. Nobody's flying, right? William Williams says, later everyone, work beckons. Yeah, take care, Will. Eris385, glad to see a fellow Kansas City here. There you go. Superset 5, let's see, says, but I don't want to place 10th. Ha ha ha, shut up, Superset. Sorvan says, just don't get a record low score, Superset. Someone has to be last. Just don't be last in a bad way. Fair point. Terry T says, honestly, I've never been so inspired to do so many things until now. Right? He continues, not that I'm not inspired before, but there's a lot more fire under my ass now. Dude, I know. It's invigorating, right? Pab says, first, every kit, for every kit you buy, get 2 tools, is my saying. Things get expensive. True. Eric says, fellow Kansas City citizen, stupid autocorrect. Yeah, there you go. Kenneth Sims says, don't forget to stockpile some paints and thinner, too. Well, now, right? Yeah. Michael Carmine says, he lives in Maryland. His flight would be similar to mine. I got to Japan last year for $800 total. Flight to LA was $177 round trip. Then flight to Japan, $450 round trip from LA. Yeah. Sam L says, yeah, I've bought a ton of tools in the last month. Nice. Let's see. Charles wants to know if Eris visits Build Up. Interesting. I never reloaded on Twitch. Says, sweet, thanks. Yeah, I plan to get my stuff from USA Gundam. They're located in Daytona in Florida. Oh, you're in Orlando. Shit, you're an hour away. Yeah. That's perfect then. Hell yeah. And then when all this stuff passes and you can actually get over there, because it's only like an hour away, go visit Adam and see his retail space, because it's awesome. It was awesome before, but he's expanded it, and from the looks of it, it looks even more even more better. Proper English, Tim. Come on. It looks even better, right? So, but yeah, dude, get into it, get after it, and then come back, hang out with us, ask your questions. I will definitely answer. All the guys and folks in the chat will definitely answer. Yeah, we'd love to hang out with you. So, yeah, come on back, man. Come on back. Let's see. Charles Dodge says, they are great people. I try to buy as much as I can from there. After that, it's USA Gundam Store. There you go. I never reloaded. Follower. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. You know what? Hey, welcome to the Mecha Army. You get one of these. Boom. There you go. It's official now. Mike Skyer says, 12:30 a.m., but I'm going to crack into my Master Grade Justice Shazar type. Woo. There you go. So hyped, he says. Charles Dodge, responding to Charles, he says, yeah, they are. I'm a childhood friend of the owner. Look at that. Connections being made. That's cool, man. So, awesome stuff. All right. So, you guys, this whole thing kind of got derailed with the GBWC announcement, didn't it? So, here we are. It's a brand new world. It's a brand new world. So, yeah. Anaheim Electronics. There we go. I never reloaded it over there on Twitch. He says, for sure. I was actually thinking of getting the RX-93 new 100 Master Grade for my first build. Whoo, you're going deep on it, aren't you? Okay. That's a great mobile suit. Not a bad choice. But if it was me, I'd probably start on a little simpler, smaller side. Because that's a big boy. That's a big model, right? That's a big kit. I don't know. I mean, me personally, I'd probably start with one of the GMs or something like that. My personal favorite is the Master Grade Justa, which is what we're building right now. I love that kit. It's an amazing, amazing kit. It's probably one of the best Bandai's ever created. So that would be my suggestion. But dude, definitely get what you want, and get what you gravitate to. But look it over and see what they have in stock, and get what works. Sorvan says Jagan's kind of a big boy but simpler, might be a better choice. That's a fair comment as well. Actually, yeah, I got the Jagan right up here. Actually, yeah, this guy right here. That's all. This guy is almost as big as the new, but like Sorvan said, it's just a little simpler, right? I Never Reloaded says I was also looking at the 100 GM Sniper as well. Ooh, if it was the GM Sniper 2, if it's the GM Sniper 2, hands down, yes. Yes, I love that kit as well. That's kind of on the same playing field as the Master Grade Justa. So yeah. Superset 5 says the new Verka has been and will always be my favorite build. There you go. Sorvan says GM Sniper 2 is a good one. I think that'd be okay. Just take it slow. Yeah. Just follow the instructions, man. It like I said, it goes together like a Lego set. It's not it's really not that difficult. It's just, be careful and all that, right? So yeah. Eris385 says hopefully we can bump into each other in build up one of these days if we haven't already. Without knowing it, I'm there quite a bit. Look at you guys. I Never Reloaded says, what about a 144 real grade? Are those any good? In my personal opinion, 144, the real grades are hit and miss. Some you can call real grenades, meaning that they just others are very very solid. The new, so Sorvan was, I think Sorvan is actually is tapped into my brain. He says the new real grade is very good, but it has some very tiny parts, maybe not good for your first go. Kind of what I was about to say. I was going to say the new Gundam real grade is actually very very solid. Same thing with the Sazabi. Both of those are solid builds. But yeah, I mean, I'd probably start bigger but simpler. Maybe even like an IBO high mechanic or real mechanics or whatever the hell they're called. Like a Barbados Lupus, Grimgird, one of those. Those are wonderful kits, very very close to master grade level, and it kind of gets your feet wet and you get a cool ass model at the end of the day as well, or some of the RE100s, right? Like the Bawu or the Efreet. One of those are really really good. Those are high quality models, but they're a little bit on the simpler side as well. So any one of those, I think you can't really go wrong. So yeah. Let's see, Tashi over there on YouTube, he says Jagans are dope. Order the new color Master Grade D-Type earlier this month. Bandai needs to stop making D-Type P Bandai, right? Michael Cremine says we call it early real grade syndrome. Anything after the Sazabi are good. Yeah, true. Sorvan says I've heard good things about the RE100 Mark III. Yeah. Michael Cremine says I only build 144 scale kits. That's okay. That's all right. Like, I only build 100, so I mean, we all got our thing, right? So, Slick Builder says I'd stick with Master Grade New. Fair enough. Space Rat 53 over there on YouTube, he says Master Grade Gundam X was a great kit among some of my first Master Grade kits. There you go. Let's see. Kai Sang-ing is over there on Facebook. He says, hey, Tim, what's going on, man? We're about to wrap it up, but if you haven't heard, GBWC is canceled for this year. That just happened officially. Bandai just released that, so we have a lot of time on our hands to make our entries really, really good. Yeah. All right. So, I Never Reloaded says I was also looking into Master Grade 1100 Wing Zero Custom as well. Decent kit. Yeah, I'd say a decent kit. It's smaller. It's a smaller Master Grade, right? So keep that in mind. But because the actual mech is a smaller scale than, say, your new Gundam and Jagan and stuff like that. So it is on the smaller side of things. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. DT Warrior says, up, Tim. Thanks for the stream, bro. Dude, you are welcome, man. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. All right, kids. So we're going to wrap this one up for the night. Because, where are we at? 12:39, 12:40, basically. So, yeah. What a night. What a night. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow. We'll have a lot to talk about on Friday for mechanism and stuff like that. I'm sure there will be talk back and forth about this whole development here starting tonight. And I'm sure people are posting like crazy about it right now. So here we go. Here we go. So, I Never Reloaded says, thanks for the info. I appreciate it a lot. I'll catch you on the next stream. Thank you, man. Hey, swing on back. We'll be here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, because some days we stream twice. So, yeah. Anywho, you guys, so if y'all want this cool-ass Anaheim Electronics hat, hit up www.chadamecha.com. Hit the store button up at the top. You will find this hat and many more. Shirts, prints of my work, all sorts of cool stuff in there. Go load up on that stuff. You got the stimulus money, so don't neglect me here. If you are interested in any of the tools and materials that we worked with here today, there's an Amazon link just below here on Twitch and YouTube. That side, if you're watching on Facebook, I do get a bit of commission, less now than what it was a few days ago, but it does not increase the cost for you. A lot of cool stuff in there. Like I said, tools and materials, books for inspiration, gear for streaming. If you want to get into that, now is the perfect time. Go get you some. And then, as always, if you are interested in kits and paints and tools and materials and all sorts of other cool stuff, Mecha Decals, sheets 1 and 2, those are both in stock and shipping now. Hit up our good friends right down here, USA Gundam Store. They will definitely have what you need. Charles Dodge, man, come on. Stop spending money, man. He says, got to have at least one per show. And then Edward Leonard, look at him. He says, thank you, Tim. LOL, I'm broke, but hey. Dude, Edward, nah, man. Thank you, boys. Here, you know what? Let's load this up. Y'all get, boom. Here's one for Charles. Load it up again. Boom. There's one for Edward. Nice. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. But then again, if you enjoy what we do here, if you learn, if you take any value from this stream, man, like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff on the social medias and everything. If you think someone can benefit from watching this as well, share it amongst your friends, share it to Facebook groups, email your auntie in Des Moines, Iowa, or someplace like that. I don't know, just get everybody on the train. Let's roll. Come on, like, now is the time. Now is the time to kick this thing up. Now is the time to see if this thing has wheels and really push forward, because we've got more time now than we've ever had before to get this entry done. Yeah. Now is the time. So, let's load the train up, boys. Let's go. All right? So, with that being said, man, what a cool stream talking to you guys tonight. I really like doing this sometimes, and especially with the events that have happened to us tonight. Crazy, right? So we'll be back here, like I said, 3 p.m. tomorrow. We're gonna jump back on to the SD Unicorn build and keep knocking that one out of the park. And yeah, come on back for that, and we'll hang out again, talk about things, and teach you some stuff. Okay? All right, boys and girls, have a wonderful night. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. Use some common sense. But most importantly, go make something cool. All right? See you, boys.